Welcome to Commander Tune-Ups. Today's deck is a Gargos deck submitted by our viewer, Carol.
We're going to show you how to power out some Hydras like nobody's business.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. And if you want to subscribe, do it.
Why should they?
Because we got a bunch of cool stuff coming out. We're ranking every commander. We got a whole series about it.
Oh, that's awesome.
They should know.
Besides, you'll want to be subscribed to this channel because our subscribers are 10% more likely to sprout extra heads.
Disclaimer, the Nitpicking Nerds cannot guarantee that you will grow extra heads.
Though I must admit I don't know if I want that.
Well, maybe the disclaimer took care of that.
I hope so.
Yeah, well, let's get into the deck because we have one, and we should probably talk about it. What are we doing?
Well, this is a Hydra deck with a fighting sub-theme.
Hydras and fighting.
Fighting Hydras. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't... It's just weird.
Yeah. It's not normal. It's a Hydra commander where they staple on an extra fight thing to go with it.
Well, why don't we read Mr. Gargos, Vicious Watcher?
Gargos, Vicious Watcher, he costs 3 green for an 8/7.
Well, it passes the vanilla test, but let me read the rest of it really slowly.
Hydras cost 4 less to cast.
For you.
For you, yeah. I mean, not that, how many Hydras really running around in EDH not in your deck?
None?
Okay, yeah, that's my point. So, but it does make them only cost less for you. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, Gargos fights target creature you don't control.
This man is going to mow down things like nobody's business.
He's basically a lawnmower.
He's basically a lawnmower with a bunch of heads. Budget for this tune-up, where we upgrade viewer-submitted decks, $250 to $300. We didn't even come close to that.
This is a little off topic. I was picturing Gargos, all of his heads like outwards and spinning like a lawnmower blade.
General Grievous?
Yeah, like he's going General Grievous with his heads.
Yes, Dooku trained me in the way of lawn mowing.
No card above $20 in this deck.
That was another stipulation from Carol. And the average mana cost when we got it was 2.95.
Ooh, we're going over that in the beginning now?
We are, actually. So
cool.
Let's get into what we ended up doing with this deck, or what the deck ended up doing in general after we upgraded it.
Well, let's talk about the categories. So, Hydras?
This is a Hydras deck, I hear. We should probably have Hydras in it.
Let's go over some of the best ones. I'll start with Genesis Hydra. X green for a 0/0 enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. When you cast it, look at the top X cards of your library. You may choose a non-land permanent with converted mana cost X or less and put it onto the battlefield. So he's a nice 2-for-1 little duder.
Yeah, they can't stop whatever it is from coming into play.
Yeah, it goes right in play.
And then they're not going to counter this because it's just a big vanilla. But you get 4 extra looks with Gargos, basically.
Oh, yeah. Even if you just have 2 green mana, this is a 4/4 that you look at the top 4.
Green for a 4/4 on a free spell.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I like that card. We have Hydra Omnivore next. 4 green for an 8/8. And when it hits one of your opponents, it deals that much damage to all your opponents.
I like this card a lot, even though it doesn't have trample, which if it did, it'd be better.
It'll eat anything, even all of your opponents at once.
Yeah, it's really cool. If one of your opponents has no blockers, then all of your opponents have no blockers for this guy.
This feels like a prelude to the mechanic Myriad. Where
Similar.
if it attacks one person, it attacks all of them.
It'd be really cool.
I would love to give this thing Myriad with the sword.
Blade of Selves. Yeah, put Blade of Selves on this. Oh.
You could just kill the table.
It's weird that we both had the same, reaction.
You could just kill everybody. 24 damage each, right?
It's 8/8. Yep. Everyone will be taking 24.
That's pretty sweet. We don't have that, but it would be sweet.
I mean, it's not like
the deck is attack.
The deck isn't built around that specific Hydra.
No, it is not.
Life Blood Hydra. X green enters with X counters on it. When it dies, you gain life and draw cards equal to its power.
I always thought this card was plus on counters, but the power is way better because we have other ways to buff its power in this deck.
No one, man, should have all that power. But a Hydra is fine because Hydras, they know how to use their power appropriately.
Right, no one man should quote garbage songs in the middle of a deck. So
I quote garbage songs all the time in the middle of deck text.
There's other ways to pump this thing, so I actually kind of like this Hydra. It might be the best Hydra in the deck.
You think?
I think so. I mean, all the Hydras are pretty... Ugh. Gargos makes them much better.
They're
pretty
but
not good by themselves.
But Genesis Hydra's so cool.
It's definitely cooler when you get 4 extra looks.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably my favorite one.
Yes, Voracious Hydra is next. This is the newcomer from M20. It's X green for a 0/1. That has trample. and it enters with X counters on it. And then when it enters, you can either double the number of counters on it or have it fight target creature.
M20 went with fighting Hydra theme.
M20 knew what their Hydras were going to do. They're going to fight things, darn it.
Is that what Hydras do?
I think this one's going to end up doubling its power more. You're not going to be worried about fighting things. Gargos has that covered. When you get to play Gargos and then play this, so if you have 6 mana when you play Gargos, then you untap and you play land, that's 5 mana plus 4, so this enters with 18 counters, right?
That's all?
No, wait. Yeah, it'll just enter with 18 counters.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's not bad.
These things are huge. If you can untap with these things, you're going to be hitting real hard.
Yes, so we have a couple ways to protect them, which we'll go over later. Mostly, the protection comes from, if you kill my Hydras, I'm just going to make more.
Coming up next on our Hydras, we have Whip Tongue Hydra, which is actually a reference to an old card, Whip Tongue Frog, which didn't do anything with its whip tongue except fly. It was weird.
Is that even true?
It is.
Oh, I did not know that.
You didn't know that card existed?
I thought they just wanted to make a chameleon Hydra. They just keep putting different heads on Hydras.
Yeah.
They did a snake one. They did a chameleon one. I can't even think there's weird ones, though.
The
Jellyfish one.
Yeah, the Whip Tongue Frog doesn't kill things because it's too small, but I think it grabs onto things with its tongue to fly.
Oh, is that what it does?
Yeah, watch. Here, we'll pull it
Watch.
up. We'll pull it up on screen. He's murdering a guy with his tongue, but the only thing that makes sense is that he's grabbing onto flying things with his tongue and flying.
That looks really derpy.
It does look really
Their
dirty.
favorite food? Wind dancers. Okay. Okay, buddy.
It's like it's one of those arts where it's like they did not give good art direction because the idea of it is clearly supposed to be that his whip tongue is used to like grab onto flying things.
It's like Goblin Bird Grabber from M20. It's like the same kind of thing.
Yeah, except
that card is hilarious and makes sense, and this one is just bleh.
he's literally using his tongue as a whip on like a
Well,
human.
this frog has a stone face and has no emotion, like a sociopath, just grabbing onto creatures.
So that's Whip Tongue Frog. Moving on to Whip Tongue Hydra now.
Oh yeah.
We have 5 green for a 4/4 with reach. When it enters the battlefield, destroy all creatures with flying, then put a +1/+1 counter on Whip Tongue Hydra for each creature destroyed this way. It's cool when it costs 2 mana.
This card's great.
Well,
This is like a utility Hydra. It can board wipe your opponents. I mean, it's not going to, but it can destroy a bunch of different creatures for free. Because you just want the Hydra?
Yeah, I mean, you get free value out of this guy for 2 mana when you have your Gargos out. That's
right.
awesome.
Let's say you attack with your 2/2 flyer, because you know that they're going to pay blue to give Whiptongue Frog flying. Then afterwards, you just play Whiptongue Hydra, and it kills the Whiptongue Frog, and your opponent is an idiot. All right, now we have the mother of all Hydras, Hydra Broodmaster. Everybody loves this card. It is 4 green for a 7/7, XX green : monstrosity X. 2 Hydras in Theros have XX green monstrosity. When Hydra Broodmaster becomes monstrous, put XXX green Hydra creature tokens onto the battlefield, which means if you pay X is 2, you get 2 2/2s. If X is 12, you get 12 12/12s. The more mana you have, the more insane this card gets,
Yeah.
and you can do it instant speed.
This is exponential, right?
Yeah,
Okay. I never know when something is exactly exponential or not.
I'm pretty sure this is.
I know it's tough to because people overuse that term and
People
they use
definitely
it
overuse it.
and they
Well,
use it
everything's
incorrectly.
exponential. The exponent can be a decimal or a
Yeah,
negative.
that's true. Everything is technically, but usually when you're talking about
1 + 1 is exponential growth.
So our last Hydra, I think it's our last Hydra.
Was Hydra Broodmaster.
Oh, that was our last Hydra. I thought there was one more.
No,
I'm
sorry. There's
There
one
is.
more. His name's Gargos, and he's going to be
No, Pelokonos. He's in the deck.
monstrous. XX green. Okay. We want to target our creatures with our own spells because we want Gargos to fight as many things as possible without dying.
Well, let's start with our first.
Yeah, this is
targeted
just
spell.
ways to get him to fight. We'll protect him later.
This is Hunter's Insight. 2 green for an instant. Whenever a target creature deals damage to a player, draw that many cards.
More or less.
Regardless, it hits, you draw cards, but also you get to fight with your Gargoyle.
So if somebody has one blocker, you get to take it out of the way and then draw 8 cards.
That's pretty strong.
If it hits, it is. And we have ways to protect him, so I'm assuming you're going to be able to hit.
And your creatures have huge power in this deck.
These creatures are cheap, and they're big. And we even have smaller elf dorks.
This card's also an instant, so like if you attack like 4 Hydras and they block 3 of them, you can
You
just
just choose the other one, draw 4 or 5 cards.
It's pretty sweet.
So Test and Tactics is 1 in a green. It has Strive, which means you can target any number of other creatures for just 1 green more. And then they all gain +1/+1, and they have the ability, quote, tap this creature, fights target creature, end quote.
This is a lot of fighting.
This is, every time you target a creature, you get a different Gargos fight. And now every one of your creatures taps to fight something. Don't kill Gargos. Make sure Gargos survives. You want to get him indestructible or big enough power-wise that he can fight everything. But you can just have all your other creatures fight too.
This is like the first deck that like Darksteel Plate. I'm not advocating for that card because I'm not a big fan.
Darksteel Plate's not in this deck.
Yeah, I'm not advocating for that card. I'm saying like it doesn't. It seems like it actually fits in the deck, and like usually that card's just thrown like I don't want my commander to die.
Yeah.
I don't want a Darksteel
Well, that's
Plate.
true with Lightning Greaves too.
Yeah, but this one.
I'm saying people make the same mistake.
Yeah, where it's just like I don't want my commander to die, but like he actually benefits from indestructible. Where it's just like he can just keep fighting.
He does, but I think at the point you spend a whole card on something like Darksteel Plate,
You're losing a lot of advantage.
you're losing so much advantage because there's not that many creatures you actually want to fight. You're just going to be able to kill them all the time with this deck.
Yeah.
This is a one-sided board wipe. Setessan and Tactics.
Setessan Tactics. That's a weird. What is Setessan?
Setessa is a location.
Okay, that makes sense.
These are the tactics of those people. Read the next one.
Verdant Rebirth. This card's awesome.
Battlebox All-Star.
It is a super awesome card. Terror creature gains until end of turn if this creature would die. Put it back in your hand instead.
Draw a card.
Draw a card.
Cost 1 in a green.
Yeah, instant. So like this is a combat trick.
Whenever one of your best Hydras is going to die, you have Gargos fight something, and then you get it back. Even if they're about to kill Gargos, I guess you can target Gargos, have him not fight, and then when Gargos dies, you get him back. Draw a card.
But you could have him fight. Why would you not have him fight?
Well, because it's on cast. When you cast it, Gargos fights.
Yeah, but you could
So
have
if
him
you cast-
fight and not die.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, just make
Well,
sure
if Gargos is going to die, yeah.
you can still have him fight. Like have him fight a 6/6.
Right, you have him fight a 6/6, then he comes back when he dies to whatever.
This thing's
so-
huge. It just like kills like things like Inferno Titan with no issue.
He just eats an Inferno Titan. No big deal.
Oh,
That's not. I don't play cards that are bigger than that. Also,
not often.
Gargos is fighting every creature I have, and winning.
Almost every time.
We have Viridescent Wisps. This is just a cantrip, basically. It's 1 green. Creature gets +1/+0, becomes green. Draw a card.
The important part is draw a card.
This is Terminate.
Yeah, it becomes
Terminate, draw a card.
would you play Terminate draw a card?
Yeah, especially since if you don't have Gargos and you can't cast them anytime soon, you just cycle it and draw a card.
I didn't even like saying that right now. That's like an insane card.
1 mana.
It doesn't even matter.
1 mana, draw a card, destroy target creature.
That card's insane. Like how insane is that card?
But one of your creatures becomes green. That's the
and gets a pump.
That's the downside.
Warrior's Lesson.
This is 1 green for an instant. 2 target creature just gain, quotes, when this creature hits a player, you draw a card, end quote.
This one. What's with all the Theros cards?
Theros had, what do you mean what's with Theros? Theros had Heroic.
I know, but
It's the same thing.
I know.
Gargos has Heroic.
But it's not just that. Also, they got the Hydras too from Theros.
They got the Hydras, and they just wanted to bring all of Theros together under one
Apparently,
commander.
They were. that was the goal.
They're like, Setessan Tactics and Warrior's Lesson and Pelucranos all need to go in the same deck. And Hydra Broodmaster, and they all need to fit in the same deck. I'm like, I got you. Gargos.
Say no more.
Say no more.
Rancor is 1 green for an enchantment. Target creature gets +2/+0. Now that's pretty good as it is. But let's keep reading. I think there's more.
terrible.
I think there's more to this card.
Horrible.
Whenever it's put from the battlefield to the graveyard, put it back in your hand.
It gets trampled too. And it's not target, it's an aura, so it stays on.
It does target it.
Auras target when you cast.
That's what I said.
But no, that's not what you said. Rancor is a Nitpicking nerd staple. In any Voltron deck, we're probably putting it in.
This card's good. The card, I mean, it's just good.
You can have Gargos die if you want. Then Rancor just starts, like, eventually when Rancor is on a thing and that thing dies, Rancor comes back. So you get to continuously get these Gargos fights. Or just continuously give trample to your best creature.
Yeah. Keep putting in other creatures because when they die, you'll get your Rancor back and you can just do it again.
Make no mistake, Rancor is very not replaceable. There are not things like Rancor. I would not play anything similar that doesn't have the when it dies, it goes back to your hand. If Rancor was just itself, it would be terrible.
If it was Bone Splitter, yeah.
I just want people to know that Rancor specifically, you can't switch it out with another enchantment that gives it, let's say, +5/+5 and trample. That's bad.
Yeah, you need to return to hand. There's another one. Isn't there another one?
We want cheapness and we want recurability on our 1 mana thing. This card's really good.
Do we have another card in this deck that literally returns to your hand afterward?
No, we have Whip Soap, which is 1 green for an enchantment. The creature gains reach or something, and then you can pay green and bounce it back to your hand from the battlefield.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
Way different. You can storm off with Gargos fights.
Storm.
Pay green, Gargos fight something.
Classic storm off.
This is Fight Storm. You have Cetizen Tactics and Whip Soap for Fight Storm.
You made me want to sing fights. This is my fight storm. My take back my life storm.
No, we're not just saying that either.
No, we had to
We can
sing.
just either sing good songs or go to the next category.
Protecting Gargos. That's our third category. We're protecting this man. This man is very killable. He's got a
He's
kill.
actively trying to hurt himself.
He's actually got like 6 or 7 killable faces. Like usually you got a punchable face. He's got 6 or 7 killable faces.
He's going to be a target. So we need stuff like Alpha Authority, which is an enchantment for 1 and a green that gives him hexproof, and he can't be double blocked. Mostly, he has hexproof.
Not being able to, but that's actually big. Not being able to be double blocked. He can only be chump blocked. That's
It's
good.
good.
How many things? Like you said, nothing in your deck is bigger than this. You're only chump blocking him. Next is Heroic Intervention. This is a card that is overplayed in EDH, but it is strong in the right decks, like this one.
This deck loves this card. You can start off a turn with big mana and just play it, giving all your stuff hexproof and indestructible. Now you can have Gargos fight anything you want, and he'll never die.
Yeah, and that's awesome. You could do so. This is when like is it Tactics that gives them?
Cetizen Tactics?
Cetizen
That's
Tactics.
that's the wombo combo.
If you have like if you're like 4 creatures, you start your turn off with this. They say okay, it resolves. Now you just go Cetizen Tactics.
They can't target them, and they can't destroy them. So what are they going to do? Their creatures are just going to die.
It's just gonna be a huge board wipe for you. And it's gonna be awesome.
I'll discard 2 cards to Plague Wind.
Plague Wind, 2 card Plague Wind, Plague Wind, Plague Wind.
Are you just going to keep saying that?
I was gonna say something else, but I just kept saying Plague Wind for some reason.
Pretty weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Up next, we have Aspect of Mongoose, which is
Classic aspect of Mongoose. It gets Shroud.
1 and a green for an enchantment. It has Shroud. The enchanted creature has Shroud. And then when Aspect of Mongoose dies, return that to its owner's hand as well.
I said that.
I don't care.
I said that we had another one.
Yeah,
I
I
knew
just
it.
don't care. All right.
This is named.
This might be confusing. This seems like a non-bow at first glance because you want to enchant Gargos and give Gargos Shroud. We're not going to target Gargos. We can target any of our creatures, and then Gargos independently fights another creature.
Well, we're fine with giving Gargos Shroud.
That's what I'm saying, but it seems like we want to target Gargos. We don't need to target him. We can target any of our creatures.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Now they can't target him.
This
Win-win.
I didn't know Aspect of Mongoose existed before putting this deck.
I maybe have seen it, it's just not something I would play.
It works. It does work really well in this deck.
Oh, it's solid, for sure.
like it's awesome. It also is a reference to Nimble Mongoose. If you didn't know, it's a
Oh,
very popular Magic card.
it is pretty popular. It was a legacy.
Did you not know it was a reference to that?
Nope, did not.
It is.
It should have protection from snakes.
Or okay, what if it gave +1/+1 if you have Threshold also? Like it just made it. It gets all the
I thought
Nimble.
Mongoose got +2/+2.
Oh yeah, it gets +2/+2.
I was going to say 1 mana 2/2. That's not very good.
Yeah, it's not very good.
But now 1 mana 3/3.
It's also not very good.
Oh, okay.
It's how much play Modern since being put in it?
Well,
0.
it stopped playing Legacy, right? Like
Yeah,
forever ago.
Forever ago, yeah.
Like so
That-
far long ago.
Before they printed things like Gurmag Angler.
Oh, that card's so good.
It's
Let's not talk about Legacy anymore. Let's
it's-
talk about the next card on this thing.
it's so good.
Oh, are we still talking about
I
it?
was gonna real quick, yeah. It's so good, and on top of that, it's a Nambo with Nimble Mongoose. They literally they hate each other.
They can't play well.
Ronez's Monument.
Why is this in the Protect Gargos category?
Well, why don't you tell him, Beezy?
Because Ronos' Monument is 3 mana for an artifact. Whenever you cast any creature spell, target creature gets +2/+2 and gains trample. And your green creature spells cost 1 less.
So all your Hydras are gonna cost 5 less if you have Gargos out.
So if you want to have a huge Gargos fight turn, you just play Ronos' Monument, or you have it out first. Play 2 creature spells, give Gargos +4/+4, and now he has 4 more toughness worth of fights.
This strong. I like that. Also, I love that all your Hydras are gonna cost
Now
5 less.
Now they cost 5 less.
Like 4 wasn't
It
enough.
needed to be funnier. Now it's 5 less. But does that bring us to our final category? It
No.
does. It does.
Oh, does it?
Winning the game.
Okay, you're right.
Every deck's got to do it. How specifically are we going to do it?
We'll start with Finale of Devastation. X green, search your library or graveyard for a creature with converted mana cost X or less, put it onto the battlefield. If X is 10 or greater, all your creatures get +X and gain haste.
This card is going to end games. We have a lot of ways to get big mana in this deck, and we're going to be casting this for 12 a lot. And
Yes.
just completely steamrolling people.
I don't know. I thought you were going to say staying. I don't know why. But we're going to be steamrolling people because that makes logical sense, and BZ actually said that.
Yeah, so I agree with that sentiment. I also love Finale of Devastation because it's not only a win con, but it's the best toolbox card in the deck.
Oh, it's so good.
This is the best card in the deck, right?
Finale of Devastation?
I don't think it's even close.
Yeah, I'd say it's the Gourmet Bagel. Which I feel like we haven't done a Gourmet Bagel in a while, so let's explain what a Gourmet Bagel is. It is, so all the other cards in the deck, they're your bread and butter of the Hydra decks. But Finale of Devastation, it's not just bread and butter, it's a Gourmet Bagel, baby.
The best card in the deck.
The best card in the deck.
Right, so Strength of the Tadru is a poor man's Finale of Devastation. It is X green, multi-kicker 1, colorless, 1 generic, I guess. Choose target creature, then choose another target creature for each time it was kicked. You put X +1/+1 counters on all of them. Not only does this have Gargos fight as many times as you want per creatures you have, but it's another way to buff your creatures to the moon.
to the straight, bam, zoom, straight to the moon.
If you just want fights, you can even cast it for no X and just multi-kick as many creatures as you want.
To get a bunch of fights.
If you want to kill down 5 1/1s, you can do that.
What about, okay, hear me out. 4 1/1s and a 2/2.
Yes. I'm going to say yes.
2 2/2s and a 1/1.
Yeah, you can do that.
I would have gone full like Dwight, where he's like, how many people have to get hurt? 1,
2,
2, 3.
Hear me out. All right, go to the next card.
Colonian Hydra. 3 green for a Hydra that enters with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever it attacks, double the +1/+1 counters on all your creatures. And a lot of these Hydras have +1 counters, it turns out. That's actually a synergy of the deck.
And even if they don't, we can use Strength of the Tadru to put counters on them
That's a sick combo.
before we double them. I like that guy. He's also costs green.
Yeah. He costs 3 green, but hopefully we always have Gargos out in this deck.
That's my favorite card to find with Finale of Devastation. When you go crazy, because then you get that, and then they all attack with +10/+10, and then they all get double counters.
Ugh, that's gross.
Yeah, it's probably going to kill people.
You're going to kill people.
What's this card? I put it on there as the win con.
Grook Wildspeak.
Speak.
Speaker. Grook Wildspeaker. 2 green for a legendary Grook Planeswalker.
Cool.
That's it. Now this sounds pretty cool already, but I'm going to keep reading.
Most Planeswalkers have abilities.
He comes in with 3 loyalty, +1, untap up to 2 lands.
No, he untaps 2 target lands.
Oh, it's not even up
You
to-
have to target.
You have to target. I'm sorry. Untap 2 lands. So basically only costs 2 mana. That's pretty cool.
This card's great.
-1, make a 3/3 beast.
That's not even that bad.
-4 is overrun. +3/+3, trample all your creatures.
That's enough to kill people. I mean, you plus it, then you minus it. You can kill somebody with that.
No, I like this next one a lot in this deck.
This is the, okay, fine. I have to annihilate my opponents. They're at 100 each. We can do it.
Yeah. So your creatures, we've mentioned how big these creatures can
I mean,
be.
your commander's 8/7.
Your commander's already an 8/7. Overwhelming Stampede is super awesome in this deck. I mean, even with just your commander, we mentioned you can get a 16/16 for like spending like 8 mana, like, and you just have like 16/16s coming out then.
Or we could read Overwhelming Stampede.
So Overwhelming Stampede is 3 green for sorcery. Creatures you control get +X, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control.
And they gain trample.
And they gain trample.
This, by far, is the worst video for reading cards. We have misread every single card and had to go back.
But they're not going to know that.
They won't even know.
They're not going to know that. But
We nailed it every time.
Yeah, we've actually nailed it every single time, and it's been super smooth.
First try.
Yeah.
We haven't been here for 6 days recording.
Or 6 minutes.
I'm growing a beard. That's how long we've been here.
BZ doesn't.
This is 6 years worth.
BZ shaved 3 years ago, and this is the facial hair he has now.
This is my no shave 20.
No shave November from 2008.
Yeah, 2008 to the present. All right.
Our budget was something like, what, $300? We spent $83.02 We're awesome.
We're not going to break your budget every time. We're not trying to spend all 300. We know you have money to use on other things. This is almost as good as we can make it anyway without adding random crap like Mana Crypt.
It's funny because we could have got to the budget exactly by adding a Mana Crypt. We'd just be so it's this exact deck.
We're not trying to say we spent $299.99.
It's just it's like
for the precons we're doing that. That's separate.
But it's $50. $50 is a lot shorter of a budget than $300.
And we can't say upgrade this deck with $50. We spent $30. That's a little different.
Yeah, you can do that. Like,
but then we didn't upgrade the deck with $50. Yeah. The whole point is how good can we make it with spending $50? So these are $83.02 worth of changes. 22 cards got switched between the old deck and the new deck, which you can find on our tapped out link in the description.
New average CMC for this deck is 2.88. We trimmed it by 0.04 or
0.07, the tiniest of trims. But we did trim it, so the deck is strictly better now. Half of the adds and cuts were spent on focusing the deck's game plan. There's a lot of, let's go find Nykthos because it's the best land we have. And let's make a bunch of devotion for Nykthos, which is a fine strategy to go for. So I cut the Cultivates and the Nissus Pilgrimages and the Rampant Growths in favor of actual mana dorks like Llanowar Tribe and Jiraga Tree Speaker.
Llanowar Tribe's cool. I saw the deck, I'm like, BZ, why'd you put that in there? And I kept thinking about it more. Like, to this point now, that I'm like, it's just adds 3 mana. It's
just 3 Llanowar Elves. And we're already playing Llanowar Elf.
Gilded Lotus is a playable card in a lot of decks.
This is Gilded Lotus, but it helps Nykthos, and it helps your Gargos by having more creatures, and it helps Overwhelming Stampede, and it helps everything else that you want creatures in play for.
Yeah, and you're in mono green, so it's not like this restrictive mana cost.
Yeah, so that is definitely something this deck wants to do. And Beast Whisperer and Guardian Project, green staples, added them in the deck, which then, again, wanted me to make less spell-raced and more creature-based ramp.
We're at 24 creatures for this deck.
Which isn't even that many.
It's not even insane, but it's more than it was.
Certainly more than it was. You can even add more in the future, but this deck wants spells to target your creatures, so there's a balance.
Yeah. It's a strange balance, actually, to like kind of
It's weird, but I think 24 is a quarter of your deck. That's enough.
Yeah. So, 1/4 of your draws are going to be creatures, and those creatures can be used to draw stuff. You want to target them.
Sounds good to me.
That sounds like what you want to be doing.
If you're playing mono green and you're not playing Gaia's Touch, I think you're crazy. This card is insane. It's green for an enchantment. You can play an additional land each turn as long as it's a basic forest. Oh, we have like 28 of those. And then you can sacrifice it to add green to your mana pool.
Wrong. There's 25.
Oh, well, this card is ridiculous. I don't. This card is so good. It is budget exploration. It costs like nothing. I'm pretty sure. At least it cost nothing back when I was discovering it. But let's double check.
I'm gonna guess 73 cents. That's just a random guess I made up off the top of my head.
It's $2.80.
I'm the worst at guessing.
This used to be 90 cents, but now it's. I mean, pick them up. This is the Fire Covenant of mono green.
I don't think that's true.
This card is so good.
The card's good, but Fire Covenant's so much better.
You think Fire Covenant's better? Exploration's a pretty good Magic card, and then it cashes in for even more mana later.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, this card is insane. I don't know what to tell you, especially when you're spamming Hydras nonstop.
Fire Covenant's a better
When you
card.
can't use it anymore, it literally just sacrifices itself for more mana. This card is great.
I'd sacrifice you for more mana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basilisk Collar is also in the deck, because when you give Gargos Lifelink and Death Touch, there's nothing he can't kill if you want to trade him up. And he gains a poop ton of life, 8 life every time.
What is he trading up into?
Who cares? Anything.
I'm
Anything that happens to be bigger than him.
Maybe you're playing the mirror match, and there's like a huge Hydra you got to get rid of.
Any Voltron commander.
That's
most like creatures can get bigger naturally.
No, they don't.
Right. You can kill an Emrakul.
8/7's the biggest thing ever. What? The weird flavor of that. You put a collar on your Hydra.
It's a Basilisk Collar. It's got venom in it.
So now with his
poison.
collar. Okay, yeah, I know. Now with his poison collar, he can fight Emrakul, one of the strongest creatures in the multiverse.
Probably the strongest. I don't know.
He's one of.
It's close. Reclamation Sage. We added Green Sun Zenith and we added Finale of Devastation. So we wanted a toolbox way to destroy artifacts and enchantments. Reclamation Sage is great. Better than Acidic Slime. I hate that card.
If you're playing mono green, Green Sun Zenith, Finale of Devastation, get those in your deck. Those cards are insane.
Finale's a little expensive, but Green Sun's not bad.
Is Finale expensive?
I mean, it's like $10.
I didn't know that. But still get in your deck if you can afford it.
And the last change, swapped out Skullwinder for Eternal Witness. I want to do that. I don't want my opponents doing that.
Skullwinder is a cool.
You could play both if
Politic.
you wanted. Yeah, you can play both. We just decided to play Eternal Witness. More devotion.
It does have more devotion. You want to be devoted in this deck.
We're devoted. We're devoted to Gargos because
And-
Nykthos is from Theros to
And,
complete our tribal.
and you know who's devoted to us? Our 22 patrons.
Hey,
Segues!
that was an A1 segue. I didn't even know where we were going.
So we love every single one of these people. They support us. They make this possible. We're up to 22 now. We only need 3 more to do our Ask Us Anything where we pull our Discord.
Yes.
And you can ask us anything.
Literally anything.
It's an Ask Me Anything. Ask Us Anything, actually.
Yes.
It's weird to say that, though, because it doesn't roll off the tongue like an Ask Me Anything.
Right. They support us. You can support us. There's a website on the card. It's great. If you want to submit a tune-up, just go to the comments and put a tapped-out deck for us, and we will look at it.
Remember, we love you all, especially our patrons, as much as we possibly can without making you uncomfortable.
That's the truth.
That's the truth. It's so close.
But now we're done.
Are we done?
Yeah, because I got to say peace out, Tribe Scout.